Good morning, guys. Today, Will Smith shares with us the idea of allowing fear to motivate us. So he says, let fear motivate you. And this came from his experience growing up and having opportunities. He recalls an example when he was about to begin his show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and there were a couple of gentlemen that would want to meet with him. And Will Smith hated the fact that for whatever reason, he would either come up with excuses or he would be coming up with things that would prevent him from meeting with the two gentlemen and going after what he really wanted to do because of fear. And it got to the point where Will Smith just got sick and tired of letting fear stop him. So he says that in his early life, he developed a strategy for attacking fear. And that's what we have to do. So what fear can you attack today? Have a great morning, everyone.
At a compound in Mountain View, California, internet billionaire Naveen Jain is hatching a plan that could make him the world's first trillionaire.
Naveen, good to see you, my friend.
Good.
So Naveen, the team is working hard as it usually is. So we're going to land on the moon somewhere around here, close to where the Apollo spacecraft landed at the equator.
How did you pick that area?
Well, first of all, it's on the near side, so it's easily accessible from Earth. It's an area, the dark area are actually regions of lava plains, so they're not mountainous.
Not so long ago, it was the Soviet and America's superpowers that were locked in a race to land on the moon. Now it's Bob and Naveen who are leading the competition to mine precious metals from its surface.
Are we still on track to land on the moon by 2015?
We're still on track, Naveen.
Initially, we thought the mission was going to cost us about $100 million. Do you think we can bring the cost down to, say, $50 to $60 million now?
Yeah, even less. Yeah,
Even less?
I think the first mission will be under 50, and subsequent missions may be under 40.
When would we be able to tell your honey that I want to take you to the moon?
10 years.
10 years.
Not only will it be a honeymoon, but I'm taking my honey to the moon, and I think that'll be the killer.
If you can do that, that's real business. If we can go to the moon for $50 million and the cost comes down to 20, and we're able to bring back the thing worth $500 billion, I don't care what anybody says, that's a great business. Somebody is going to create $1 trillion industry in space, and we sure hope it's us. When you tell somebody what you're doing and they don't think it's a crazy idea, then you're thinking too small. So when you walk up to a party and people say, what do you do? Well, I mine the moon. Well, that's crazy. Well, I'm thinking big, right?
Honestly, I think we're all thinking small. You're thinking small, I'm thinking small, we're all thinking small compared to what we're capable of. And I think we've been conditioned to think small. We've been conditioned by our upbringing, our family, our parents, our guidance counselors, our teachers, we've just been conditioned to think small because we're learning about life from people who also never thought big. And so because we are products of our environment, we have conditioned ourselves to think the same way as the people in our environment. And if you're not happy with your environment and your environment is not around big people who've done amazing things or thinking big, then you will stay stuck thinking small as well. What I love about Naveen Jain is that he thinks big. You know, the first time I found his content, there were 3 people who I get recommended all the time. You should do a top 10 on this person. You should do an espresso on this person. You should profile this person. And there were 3 people who, for the first time, upon first consumption of their content, really blew me away. One was Denzel Washington. If you have not seen Denzel Washington, you should go watch his top 10. His backup plan for his life was being a minister, and he is a fire presenter. A lot of times when we do actors, it's really hard to get anything good out of the interviews that they're doing. But Denzel Washington is a whole other animal, so he really blew me away. The second was Priyanka Chopra, who had a just amazing set of interviews and super intelligent, bright woman. And the third was Naveen Jain, where I had no idea who this person is. You should do Naveen Jain. Great, go look him up. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. I want more Naveen Jain in my life. I think that's a great sign. You know, like when you find people like that, even if you've never met them, and up until this year, I had never met Naveen Jain. I had the good fortune to just recently have him on my channel to do an interview in a collaboration. But up until that point, I'd never met him before. And when you find the people who make you think bigger, who make you feel more confident, who make you feel more bold, be around them more. This is my solution, right? I am trying to hang out, even if it's just virtually, with the people who inspire me to want to play a bigger game. You know, out of those three people, I haven't met Denzel Washington yet. I haven't met Priyanka Chopra yet. And up until, you know, this year, I hadn't met Naveen Jain yet. But I can still be inspired by them. I can still learn from them. I can still look at their content, and they can still push me to become better. And I think a lot of us stay stuck and stay small because it's so good to feel important, and we end up being the big fish in a small pond. If you're watching this video, you are probably the one that's pouring into everybody else. You're probably the most optimistic person in your circle. You're probably the one who cares the most about the people around you. You're probably doing the most for the people in your circle, and you're the one people come to and say, hey, how do I X? You know, how do I grow? How do I get better? How do I, you know, you're the one that's advising and helping and pushing other people, maybe pushing them too much. Does that make sense? Maybe you're pushing some people too much, but you're the most optimistic, most ambitious person in your circle, probably. That's great in a sense, in that you can pour and give back and help others along the way, but who's pushing you? You know, if you don't have somebody pushing you to be better, to be stronger, to be greater, to be more ambitious, to think bigger, then you probably won't. Like it's really uncomfortable to think bigger. And if you don't have somebody inspiring you, pushing you, helping you, then you probably stay stuck. And that's what we need to change. And so it's a message for you, but it's a message for me equally so. And so step one in doing that, I think, is just changing the environment to be around the people who do inspire you. And chances are most of the people who do inspire you are not people who you have direct access to, and not people who are taking on an intern. You know, Warren Buffett's not taking on an intern to go live with him for a year, as far as I know. So how do you do it? Well, the easy way is through content. I've learned so much and been inspired so much by just amazing people through the content on my own channel. Like, I make these videos for me because I need them, because I need to believe more in myself, and then I share that with you, and thankfully enough of you like it that I can make it a business and hire a team and continue to make even more content. Because if it was just me, then it'd be a lot fewer videos coming up and a lot less profiles and a lot less content. So being around the people, and when you find people who really speak to you, who really get you going, who like, yes, this is exactly what I need, then be around them more. Subscribe to their channels, buy their books, listen to their podcasts, be around them more. If they're speaking at an event, go to the event, because it'll push you to reach another level. And this is why it's so great to have so many people now. I'm passionate about helping bring new people onto to platforms like YouTube and getting their message out there, because some people will push you through things, some people will hug you through things. Everybody has their own lens, and you'll connect with people in a different way. So you look at Eric Thomas, or you look at Jocko Willink, or you look at Andy Frisella, who are going to be very in your face, cut right to the truth, no BS, no excuses, no wiggle room, like get up and go chase down your life. You know, it's a hard push. They may be yelling at you, they're very intense, it's a hard push forward. And then there'll be other people like Oprah, like Brene Brown, like Dave Meltzer, who have a different approach. It's a much softer approach. They'll hug you through it. You know, some people will push you and yell at you to get through it, and some people will hug you through it. A lot of times the message is exactly the same. You know, Oprah's message is very similar to Eric Thomas's message. The difference is the delivery. Oprah will hug you through it, and Eric will push you through it. And it really just depends on what you need. There's no right or wrong. It's just, what do you need? And when you find the people who give you what you need, just be around it more. Be around it more, because no matter how much you watch one video, the impact will wear off, right? Like you're waking up tomorrow the same person you were almost yesterday, maybe a 0.5% better. But you could watch this video, get all inspired, be like, yes, all right, I'm gonna chase things down, amazing, let's go. And you have energy for a few hours or for the day, but then you wake up tomorrow and that energy is gone, right? Has that happened to you? That energy suddenly is not there anymore? You don't feel as bold or courageous or ambitious as you were yesterday? Why? What happened? It's not that, there's nothing wrong with you. That's just normal. Because you got an injection into your environment that took you to another level, and then it fell off because there was no consistency in the environment. So you are what you consistently do. So whatever you want to accomplish, whoever you want to be, to consistently surround yourself with people like that, because you're not getting enough in your home environment. Your home, your environment now, your life has been perfectly designed to keep you where you are. It's allowed you to get to where you are right now, amazing. And if that's where all you want to be, awesome, congratulations, you've done it. You've hit the jackpot. But if you want more, then your current environment is not designed to help you go and get more. And again, I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to you. Like saying these words out loud. It's like, what changes do I need to make to my environment? Who do I need to be hanging out with more, either in person or just through the video content, to make me want to push more, be more courageous, say bolder things, and have bigger aspirations and goals and dreams, and take bolder action towards accomplishing them, right? Makes a big difference. And so if you want to accomplish something, if it's business success or mindset success, then if it's just thinking bigger, then if you love Naveen Jain, be around Naveen Jain more. Watch all his interviews and listen to any podcasts that he does. And I did one on my main channel. We'll link that up at the end of this video. You can go watch if you want. If you want to improve your health and fitness, and you're tired of being on an Oreo diet, okay, you can make a choice and a decision that I want to be this person. I want to be the person who works out. I want to be the person who takes care of my body, takes care of my health and energy. And that's awesome as a decision, but you need the environment to support you. And so now, if you're subscribing to health channels, if you're following people on Instagram who are working out and taking care of their bodies, it will make you want to live a healthier life. One of the ones that I love watching is Tom Bilyeu and his health theory show, where he's interviewing experts around health. And every time I listen, I was listening to one this morning, every time I watch, it makes me want to be a little bit healthier. The more that you're around that kind of stuff, the more you will take on the mindset. Similarly, if you're injecting poison, like if you're around negative people or you're consuming negative content, and that's most of the news and most of media, to be honest, is mostly negative. If you're surrounded by negativity constantly and you're watching negative videos and reading negative news constantly, you will be a lot more negative. You'll be a lot more scared. You'll be a lot more scarcity mindset. You'll be a lot more afraid. You'll be a lot less positive and ambitious, because that's what you're feeding into your mind. So be very careful about now designing and engineering your environment. Your environment has happened to you. You've had some control over it, but it's mostly happened to you. And now you can, with intent, change it to be more positive. If you had to ask yourself, if I wanted to surround myself with the most positive, encouraging, inspiring people who will make me more courageous, bold, and ambitious, who would those people be? What would that environment look like? And then make a choice. Change it. Change who you subscribe to. Change what you're listening and watching. Unsubscribe from all the channels that make you feel worse about yourself. Change your physical environment. What clothes are you wearing? What do you put on the wall around you? What's your background on your cell phone and on your computer? You start to change it. And when you change your environment, it'll force the change in your habits, in your mindset, and in your thinking.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
You want to see my one-on-one with Naveen? Check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Self-belief comes from self-love. Like the minute you fall in love with yourself is the day the world will fall in love with you.
Good afternoon, guys. I remember hearing a while ago that on the other side of fear is freedom. And this is so true. I have seen and felt this in my life, and I continue to experience this every single day. Even when I look at this, getting in front of the camera and sharing videos with you about my thoughts, feelings, and things that I know or feel could help you. It is not easy, but that's where determination steps in. That's where that energy, that spirit, that drive that we all have within us to face our fears and keep going every single day, choice by choice. And I can tell you, it is working. It's not easy. It's very difficult, but it's possible. And it's all about going after and attacking our fears. And on the other side of those fears is the freedom we're looking for. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Remember, deep breathing is able to change the biochemistry inside, deeper than ever thought possible. I want to teach people not the history, mathematics, and language of the school and more of that book. No, I want to give them happiness, strength, and health, and to never forget it anymore. We have to bring sanity back to the people.
I'm gonna actually take you to my bathroom for a second here. And there he is,
Hey,
the Iceman Wim Hof in the house.
yes,
How you doing?
great, just great. Winter is coming and I love it.
So I met you 3 years ago when you came to Toronto and did the spent a day with you and did the recording and all that. And let me I'm gonna show you something that happened. I'm gonna actually take you to my bathroom for a second here. Let me show you. Right next to my shower. Right next to my shower. There it is.
Hey!
There you are.
Man.
So when I go in my shower in the morning, this is what I see as a reminder. And the quote, I guess the quote's backwards, but it says, "If we always choose comfort, we will never learn the deepest capabilities of our mind or bodies." Wim Hof.
There we are. Yeah.
It's that reminder. It's that reminder to stay consistent. It's been amazing watching your journey over the past couple of years, because when I first heard of you, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, you seem to be like this crazy guy doing this crazy thing that wasn't feasible or wasn't possible. That can't be real. And then over the past,
crazy, even.
he's still crazy. He's still crazy, but it's more real now in terms of all of the scientific studies you've done and all the interviews you've done and all of the mainstream media attention that you've got. Like, it's really starting to hit public awareness that
Wow.
sure you're crazy, but the ideas aren't crazy. Like, the ideas are actually sane, right? It's like the most sane
They
thing
are
you could be doing.
Yeah, man. They are cold as ice. My
So-
ideas, they got through the speculation. They got through the comfort zone kind of behavior. They got through the boot and the nonsense. Bringing back sense. You know, I'm crazy about my wife and my life. And everybody should do so. To be crazy about life and feel it like love. Love is a sense that you don't think, you feel. That crazy you should love life. And that's the way I feel crazy. I am bloody crazy about life. Bloody crazy about this conversation.
I love it, man. Tell me about the journey when
when you first started this and nobody believed in you and people said this doesn't work and it's only for you and it can't apply to everybody and it was hard to pick up the traction, like what kept you going through all that to get to where you are right now?
That's belief. That's pure belief. Believe in the good. Believe that I'm able, as a single person, to change my mind within a society that thinks that what is happening, that is normal. That the system that is sodomizing the planet, polluting the planet, the way they do, becoming insensitive, that is normal. I was single-handed, single person, very lonely, but very convinced. My belief made me different. And see what now is happening. I am helping millions of people with depression, with autoimmune diseases, with performance, with anything. Why? Because I stuck with belief in myself. And once you believe within yourself, you will always find the light. You will always find something stronger than the mediocre beliefs of this world. And this is what I teach now to the people, and it is simple. And it is proven by the science that it works, that belief works. Now believe, let me talk about belief. When I was the last study in Michigan, Detroit, I made cold water come into my skin in a brain scanner, and then showing just by the power of my belief, of my thought, to make the cold water, my skin temperature not going down. That is our real connection of the power of our mind. But that is not the way we are schooled. We are schooled to fit in a system that is not really good for us. What is good for us is to have a power of thought to become happy, strong, and healthy. That is the love every mother would be able to guarantee for her kids, her son, and her daughter. Then this world becomes a happy, strong, and healthy place. And this power of the mind is now proven through the science. So it began with a crazy idea. I don't know what it is, but I will never fit in a society that thinks that it is normal to have wars, cruelty to animals, insensitivity to each other, pollution, sodomizing the planet, exploiting, etc. All those values, that is normal. I think it is sick. I think we have to bring sanity back to the people, to every person, accessible, and the way we are, to the deeper potential of ours, the way Mother Nature meant us to be. That's why we talk here right now, to give testimonial that it is through the science and through the belief of one person. See what you can do. I can heal millions of people now, more than any doctor. Why? Because I believe. And believing is going back to the core insights of ourselves, given by nature. Everybody is able to do that. And that's what I show through the scientific community, evidence-based proof, that everybody is able to tap into the systems with the conscious will, deeper than was stated in all the medical books. The autonomic nervous system, immune system, endocrine system, lymphatic system, cardiovascular, all the mindset, the mental disorders, we can now tap in and learn to regulate our mood and to learn to bring down inflammation, especially now with the COVID-19, the fear, the anxiety, the inflammation, and we cannot do anything. That is what they make us believe. Get back to your own belief. Get back to the breath. We have shown in 2014 how to bring down inflammation effectively with a group of people. That is the real new science. And they should applicate it, bring it to the people. It's understanding of Mother Nature's capability gifted in us. We bring that to the people. And for that, I thank you, Even.
I love it. I love it. Always energetic. I love it. Listen, you talk about the education system. If you could take over, say we had Wim Hof Day, 1 day per year was Wim Hof Day, and every 13-year-old in the world would have you as their teacher for the day. You could touch everybody. What would happen on Wim Hof Day? What would you have these kids do?
I would make everybody say feeling is understanding. I want everybody to feel, to have a breathing session all together through the internet, all over the world, and to touch deeply into the adrenal axis activation that makes us resetting to the way nature meant it to be. And that is of deep joy, deep peace, and deep power, all at the same time. That is one. Then we would share it so everybody can recognize it, that it is natural, that it is a natural feeling. That is one thing. Then the other one would be on that day, the Wim Hof Day, name it, my name, doesn't matter the name. It's about happiness, strength, and health. It's about everybody going into or the cold shower for 5 minutes, or go into the ice bath, and then wait for all the reactions and see and share, because that is the understanding, is feeling. And then we share, and then we get back to our senses the way nature meant it to be in control over joy, over an overwhelming energy flowing through us, like as we were when we were in love. Then this overwhelming sense of love coming. You are driven. You don't need to know what is love. You don't need to ask, is this good, yes or no? What should I do with it? Do I do this for the future? Shall I go and do this now? No, you fly. That's the way I want to make people feel. And then they understand the joy of life is every day there for anybody. And we found the techniques, the openers, the keys to get in. And I want to teach people not the history, mathematics, and language of the school and more of that bullshit. No, I want to give them happiness, strength, and health, and to have an unforgettable experience about it, to never forget it anymore.
I love it. Well, Wim, I know you love doing AMAs. I've seen some of them happening on Reddit. So let's get some questions. Yogi Nella's asking, can
Good evening, guys. As we live, laugh, and love our way to infinite mind wealth, this thing called fear, it's all in our minds. This is the thing that we have to conquer. And I want to share with you a personal story as we're talking about fear today and trying to overcome our fears. And hopefully today you're able to look at one fear, stare it down, and overcome it. But I want to share with you my fears of just getting in front of the camera, my fear of public speaking. And we can laugh at it because when I look back on my journey thus far, especially in the new year, I'm amazed because even to this day, when I step in front of this camera and share my thoughts with you, it's interesting because my heart beats a little bit faster, but it quickly gets stopped. Whereas before, in the beginning, it was uncontrollable. And maybe you would never see it or know it, but I laugh at it now because I think, wow, we can defeat our fears. And I want you to as well. Have a great evening, everyone.
Vision
visualization, the recreation of images, sounds, and environments before it has happened is one of the most powerful skills in the world. A very powerful meditation and mindfulness practice, visualization has been used for centuries to help prepare the mind, the body, and the consciousness for upcoming challenges, situations, and circumstances. Some of the world's greatest athletes use visualization as a way to prepare for big games, the big day, musicians for their new concerts and tours, and CEOs for their very important meetings.
Need motivation?
Watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Jay Shetty, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2, make an impact.
There's very few creators of content on social media that started out with a follower count in mind. So me included, a lot of my peers in this space, a lot of people that I know that are extremely successful on different platforms, none of them started, at least the ones that I know, none of them started to get followers. They all started because they had something to share, whatever that was, whether it was comedy, whether it was wisdom, whether it was a workout plan, a fitness plan, whatever it was, like they had something that they did that they were passionate about, they wanted to share. And I can only speak to myself fully, but when I started, I thought I was going to have a full-time corporate job and I was going to make videos on the evenings and weekends to share a message. That's genuinely all I believe. And after my first month, I had about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, about 4 videos I'd made on YouTube. I had about 1,000 people that had subscribed to my channel. And most of my friends were like, great, Jay, that's where it's going to end. Like, congrats, well done. Like, you got 1,000 subscribers. You kind of just crept in there in 30 days. Like, well done, that's cool. Like, how far is this going to go? And that's really the reality of what it felt like. And the interesting thing is, the question was never, how do I get more followers? The question was always, how do I make more content that impacts people? Because, and that's the question with everything. It's like, if you make more content that genuinely impacts people, you'll get more followers. If you build a business that serves more people, you'll make more money. If you help a lot of people through your talents and gifts, you will be famous and known for it. Like, it's a byproduct of doing something properly. And that's why I love the definition that Peter Diamandis gives, that we should redefine the word billionaire to be someone who impacts the lives of 1 billion people. Why is Jeff Bezos the richest man in the world? Because he's created a product that we all say we want and that it solves a problem that we really need. And so if you want to get followers, don't look at the number. Ask yourself, are you really creating the value that's going to help people? And they're going to naturally want to follow you. And they're going to want to love your work and share it. Because to me, that's the worthwhile pursuit in life. Because when you do that work is humbling. When you do that creativity, that's the part that makes you grateful for the success that you get, because you go, wow, like people actually care about what I have to say. But if you're just obsessed about numbers and metrics without being obsessed by the content, the creation, and the service, then you'll never be satisfied, because there'll always be someone better than you. So for me, when I set out to write this book, so many people were like, oh, so do you want this book to be a bestseller? And I said, I want this book to be a bestseller. Of course I do. But I'm not going to focus on it being a bestseller. I'm going to focus on writing the best book in the world that I can possibly write, given the skills that I have. And that's why when I talk about Dharma in the book, which is helping everyone find their purpose, Dharma is broken down. Dharma means purpose loosely, and has many different meanings, but one of them is nature and purpose, your true nature. And the 3 aspects that I'll share now and there's more depth in the book, the 3 aspects of Dharma are your passion, your skills, and your compassion. That's what it means. When you have your passion plus your skills plus your compassion, that equals purpose. But for most of us, if we're just looking at numbers and metrics and data, I mean, you'll be dissatisfied with that. And I'm saying that as someone who really values numbers. I understand the value of followers, social media. I get the value of all those things, and I'm highly strategic. But I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not focused on the number. I'm focused on making content. And that's the message, that if we're focused on really creating value in the world, all of the other stuff will come naturally. You know, you don't have to go out and separately try and get it. And, you know, Rangan, you've done a great job of this. You've made content that's very organic to you. You've made content that's very natural to you. And I think that's what people gravitate towards you in your podcast and your books, because it's you being yourself. You're not trying to sound like someone else. You're not trying to be someone else. And if you look at the most successful creators in the world, they're all like that. They've just really shared their raw personality with others.
Rule number 3, don't be afraid to start over.